Hello everyone. We're going to start our webinar session today regarding the graduate certificate program offered by the Graduate School of Engineering at Northeastern University. Once again, a couple of housekeeping notes before we get started. Please turn off your microphone and your camera. That tends to work best for these webinar type presentations, where you as a participant will be listening along, and we have our slide deck that we're sharing with you, and we'll be speaking and presenting today. Once again, use the chat function. There's a button in the top right of your screen that you can use to send us inquiries. Feel free to send us your questions at any point in time during the talk today. This session is pretty quick. We expect to be speaking for about 20 minutes or so at most, and then we'll reserve a bit of time at the end for any questions that you might have for us today. And I will remind you that we're recording this session, and at some point we'll be sharing recordings of this session and all of the previous webinar sessions that we've held over the past couple of weeks. Let's see. You joining us today are a mixed group of prospective students, actually. Some of you applied and are officially accepted to your program of interest for the spring 2018 term, so we very much hope that you'll be joining us January. Some of you have applied for the spring term but are still awaiting your official decisions. We usually are able to notify all of our applicants of their official status by around mid-October timeframe, so we're right in that timeframe now. Our faculty are working hard to complete their reviews of our spring applications. So if you haven't heard back from us, you'll be hearing from us hopefully by the end of the week. And some of you might be joining us who are just exploring Northeastern University programs. You haven't yet applied, but you're thinking about applying to Northeastern, so we appreciate your interest. A couple additional comments before we get started. We have, over the past couple of years, we have well over 150 current Graduate School of Engineering students at Northeastern who have combined their Master of Science degree with a graduate certificate. So we're seeing a lot of interest among our currently enrolled students. We present the graduate certificate program as yet another option for our students and another great reason to pursue your degree at Northeastern. You can actually obtain 2 credentials instead of just 1, and both of those credentials are officially recognized on your Northeastern University transcript upon successful completion of the program. Northeastern, I've worked for several universities, and I always say that Northeastern is one of the most innovative, and this is another example of how Northeastern is an innovative place with the creation of this graduate certificate program over the last couple of years. Let me say, if you're officially accepted already for the spring term, you can actually apply by submitting a simple form to a graduate certificate program, and when you arrive in January, you can already begin to put together a degree plan to complete your Master of Science degree and your certificate program. The graduate certificate will appear on your official student record as a secondary program of interest. So your primary program is your Master of Science, and your secondary program of pursuit will be your graduate certificate program. So, with that said, let me introduce our featured speaker today, Dr. Himlona Palikhe. Himlona is an assistant teaching professor in the Graduate School of Engineering. She is originally from Nepal and received her doctoral degree from Texas Tech University. She's also a faculty member in the Engineering Management Master of Science program. Some of you joining us today are officially accepted to Engineering Management. Congratulations. Himlona taught at Northeastern's Seattle campus and is now based here in Boston. And she is also our lead faculty administrator of the graduate certificate program. Here to tell you more about it is Dr. Palikhe.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Hello, everyone. So for all of you who are already admitted to Northeastern, congratulations. And those of you who are waiting for your decision, all the best. So today here I'm going to talk about all the graduate certificates that we offer through the College of Engineering, specifically the Graduate School of Engineering. These graduate certificates are designed so that you can develop skills and knowledge focus into a particular area of your interest. So here I'll show you different graduate certificates that we offer from the Graduate School of Engineering. We have a total of 16 graduate certificates that you can see here in this list. These 16 graduate certificates we have categorized into 4 different areas so that it focuses, each of these categories focuses into particular areas of your interest. You can look at which certificate you're interested in and look at the detailed descriptions. So here is the link where you can find all the descriptions of these 16 different certificates. Each certificate, what is the overview of each of these certificates, which are the courses you will have to complete in order to complete these certificates. Some of these certificates just have 4 required courses. You complete those 4 courses and you'll be able to get that certificate. Some of the certificates has a little bit more options. You can pick and choose maybe out of 6 or out of 5 courses, 4 of them to complete a graduate certificate. There are a few exceptions I will mention here. You can see the 2 graduate certificates listed here. The first one, the Galante Engineering Business Certificate. For this, you'll need a Bachelor's of Science or a Bachelor's of Engineering degree from Northeastern. And the second one is the Gordon Engineering Leadership Certificate, which is a separate certificate which requires a separate competitive application. So here I'm just giving you a brief overview, general overview of all the certificates here. If you're interested in a particular certificate, you'll surely be able to go into this website here, into this link, and able to find the overview of each different certificate and what are the courses required for each different certificate. However, you might be thinking, why should I complete a graduate certificate or GAC graduate certificate? First thing, you'll be able to focus your academic experience with synergistic courses. If you're working or pursuing your master's degree, your graduate degree, along with your graduate degree, you'll also be able to complete a graduate certificate at the same time. So you can focus your master's degree into one particular area, which will help you to develop skills and knowledge in that particular area. That will also be aligned with the industry needs. So when you go to the job market, you'll be able to sell yourself better with the skills and knowledge you get from these certificates. Third, you'll be also able to complete coursework as part of your engineering degree. So if you're only pursuing a graduate certificate, you can pursue a GAC certificate. After you complete a GAC certificate, let's say you decide next to work on a graduate degree. You can apply whatever you have received from the graduate certificate, the courses that you have completed from your graduate certificate, towards your graduate degree program. So that's where we allow you to stack your credentialing, and you'll be able to get credit for your certificate as well as your degree program at the same time. Fourth, you'll also receive official recognition on the university transcript, even if you are pursuing your graduate degree. Along with your graduate degree, you'll also receive an official recognition of your graduate certificate in the university transcript. So using that, you can advance your career by marketing your certificate focus as well as your degree program. Now, if you are thinking about these graduate certificates, here are a few things you will have to know. The graduate certificate, as I mentioned earlier, can be combined with any GAC program. So stacked credentialing, you'll be able to get credit for your graduate certificate as well as your graduate degree at the same time. The certificate coursework that you have completed may be applied towards a graduate GAC degree as well. Depending on which program you're working on, which program you're planning to pursue, you'll be able to double count up to 2 or maximum up to 4 courses. So for some degrees, you'll be able to double count 4 courses for the graduate certificate as well as the degree program. Each of the graduate certificates that we have here, we offer requires a total of 4 courses, which is 16 semester hours. As I mentioned earlier, the graduate certificate, however, must be completed if you're working on your graduate degree, GAC degree program. Graduate certificates must be completed while working on your degree program. Because you are just going to start in spring, you do not have to worry about this part. If you decide on pursuing a graduate certificate, you can apply after you're admitted. You can just use a direct link that was sent to you in the email and apply directly for the graduate certificate. There are different kinds of formats of classes available for these certificates. Some of these are online courses. Some of these are evening classes. So you will also be able to complete the graduate certificates online if you are, let's say, just a part-time student and focusing or interested in a graduate certificate. You will be able to complete it completely online or taking evening classes. However, if you are not very sure which certificate you should take, or if a certificate of your interest is aligned with your career goals, you can also seek advice and input from program advisors, from your program advisor of the graduate degree program, or the certificate directors to see if the certificate is aligned with your career goals. That will help you decide which certificate works better in your case. By the way, if you have any questions, you can type in your questions in the chat box, and we'll answer those questions at the end of the session. Now, I did mention about pursuing the graduate degree, GAC degree, and certificate program at the same time. So if you are pursuing a graduate degree and certificate at the same time, the certificate must be completed during or before the completion of your graduate degree. After you complete your graduate degree, we cannot just extend your program or extend your visa for the certificate program. Because if you look at your OPD, the OPD will be based on your degree program, which is a better option for you compared to just the certificate program. So if you're going to come in spring pursuing a degree program and decide on applying for graduate GAC certificate, make sure you make a decision as soon as possible so that you can plan accordingly and get your certificate and degree at the same time when you complete your graduate degree. Another thing you have to look at is when you're applying your certificate course towards a GAC degree. The GAC degree normally must allow the certificate program. Most of our GAC degree, actually all of our GAC degree does allow the certificate programs. I did talk about double counting of courses. So depending on which program you're applying to, most of the departmental programs allow up to 2 eligible certificate courses that can be double counted. But there are exceptions as well. You can see chemical engineering, industrial engineering, mechanical engineering with general concentration, or operations research. These graduate degrees will allow you to count up to 4 or double count up to 4 courses. That means you can pursue a graduate degree as well as a certificate at the same time without taking any extra courses. Similarly, all our multidisciplinary programs, the engineering management, energy systems, telecommunication systems, information systems, computer systems engineering, all of these allows up to 4 double counting of courses. So most of our students in our multidisciplinary programs and these programs will also pursue a graduate certificate in addition to their graduate degree. So they are able to complete just 8 courses required for the graduate degree and receive a graduate certificate as well as a graduate degree. One thing though, sometimes students are thinking like, okay, we'll get a graduate degree and maybe 2 or 3 certificates. For that, yes, you might be able to do that. However, when you are thinking about it, you cannot triple count courses. That is not possible. I'll give you an example here on how these certificates work towards your graduate degrees. Here you can see an example of Master's in Engineering Management program. For the Master's in Engineering Management program, we have these 4 required courses. So along with the 4 required courses, you can take up to 4 electives. Let's assume that these are the 4 electives you want to pursue for your Master's in Engineering Management program. Now, if you look at the certificates that we have, these are the courses that fall under our Lean Six Sigma certificate. Now, if you compare the courses in the certificate and compare the courses in this engineering management degree, what do you see? We have 3 courses in the Six Sigma certificate which are of interest, which lie in your electives, and 1 of the courses actually lie in your required course of the engineering management program. So when you're completing your engineering management degree here, you are able to complete 8 courses, get an engineering management degree, as well as a Lean Six Sigma certificate. Again, this is just an example. I'm giving you an example of a Lean Six Sigma certificate. You can also work on any other certificate that we offer. So depending on your area of interest, you can pick and choose a certificate of interest from the 16 total certificates that we offer from Graduate School of Engineering that you can fill up for electives. This is for the engineering management program. Similarly, for other programs as well, it works like that. Most of our students are pursuing a graduate degree as well as a certificate at the same time. So at the end of 2 years, you'll be able to complete, or you'll be able to receive your degree, a master's degree, as well as a certificate degree. Now, if you feel that this is what you want to do, if you want to apply these, this is what we have for admissions criteria. Graduate GAC degree seeking students must be in good academic standing. So when you come in, when you're admitted in your first semester, you are in good standing. That's why you're admitted to Northeastern, so you'll be able to apply for the graduate certificate. Again, you go to the same link here, you'll be able to see all of our graduate certificates that we offer from Graduate School of Engineering. Current students who are pursuing their graduate degree, they do not have to pay any application fee when they apply for the graduate certificate. Just one thing though, the current students have to remember, if you're coming in spring, make sure you apply before your last semester in your degree program for the graduate certificate. There are also some frequently asked questions, which is mentioned in this link here, the Husky Help Desk link. You can look at those questions as well. Here I have also mentioned for certificate seeking students only, they'll have to go into that particular certificate, click on that particular certificate, and you'll see this next steps on the right side. So on this next step, there is an Apply Now button. This is what students will have to click on who are only interested in the certificate, not a graduate degree. But students who have already applied or who are interested in a graduate degree have already done that part. So those students, our current GAC students, after you're admitted, you are our current GAC students, they'll have to apply through an internal application form. By the way, the 2 links were sent to you in the email that was sent out by the admissions team today and also earlier about the webinar. If you have any questions about the certificates, please feel free to type it in the chat box. We'll try to answer all your questions. If you cannot think of any questions right now, but you think of a question later on, you can also send me an email. My email address is h.palikhe@northeastern.edu. So any questions you guys have, please type in the chat box towards your right, and we'll answer all the questions you have. Okay, so I see question here, list of question here is the per credit rate for graduate certificate courses. Same as the general graduate tuition rate. Yes, it is the same. Can we take certificate courses in summer as spring admitted students would not have completed 2 semesters by then? Yes, so you can take courses in the summer as well, the certificate courses in the summer as well as fall or spring. So there is no restrictions on that. Either you can take the certificate courses in the spring or the fall or the summer, it doesn't matter. If I finish one certificate, can my credit be used towards my graduate degree? Yes, if you're applying just for the certificate, after you complete the certificate, you decide to apply for a graduate degree, all your certificate courses that you have the courses you have completed for the certificate program will be applied towards your graduate degree. That is correct. So most of these certificate courses are also offered online. So if you are going to be in Seattle, you'll be able to take an online course per semester, one online course per semester, and that way you'll be able to complete a graduate certificate as well. Or in summer as well, you can take online courses in the summer. Do you have any more questions?
Himlona, just a quick prompt to you. You've been working with current students regarding adding the certificate to their degree plan for, well, it seems like over a year now. Maybe think about some of the common questions you get from our current students and speak to some of those.
Okay. So I think sometimes students are not sure about which certificate, which particular certificate they should pursue. So they do come to they go to talk to the program advisors and certificate directors. So right now, if you're not sure which particular certificate works for you best or works is in your area of interest or matches with your career goal, you can come to Northeastern in spring, talk to your academic advisors or certificate directors to see which particular certificate aligns with your career goals and interests. And that way you can decide on a particular certificate and apply as well. So you can do that. Right. For now, you can look at all the different certificate programs that we offer from Graduate School of Engineering using the link above here, which is coe.nu.edu/degrees/certificates. So it will give you an overview of all the certificates that we offer, and also the different courses each certificate has. Okay, so there is one more question here. Let's see what are the questions we have. So for summer courses, yes, faculty do teach summer courses, even if they are not on-ground courses. They will teach online courses in the summer. So you can choose to take those courses which are offered in the summer. That counts towards a graduate certificate. If I apply for a certificate program and then want to do master's degree, is there a minimum score I shall get to proceed to the master's degree? So Jeffrey, I am guessing the students have to maintain a 3.0 GPA for all the courses in the graduate certificate so that it applies at least a minimum 3.0 GPA. The courses in the graduate certificate applies towards a master's degree. Is that correct?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. So students, currently enrolled students, need to be in good standing, which means they have a 3.0 or better in all of their courses. And so even if a certificate-only seeking student, is pursuing their certificate and is in good standing, then essentially they're automatically admissible to the parent program, the parent Master of Science program for the certificate program that they're pursuing. So if your graduate certificate sort of falls into the area of engineering management and you're a student in good standing in the certificate program, then you're automatically admissible to the Master of Science degree in engineering management.
Okay. I think there is a continuing question to that. They're asking about if they need a ZRE test for the master's degree.
And the answer to that question, well, let me back up. If a student is applying only for a certificate program, they can certainly do that. And basically, the admissions standards, process, and requirements to apply to a graduate certificate program only are the same standards, process, and requirements for Master of Science applicants. So most applicants are required to take the GRE, and so most certificate applicants would be required to take the GRE too. So let me just mention this other scenario. This is something that we thought we would see more interest in from our international applicants who are pursuing a degree at Northeastern in a lot of ways, for many reasons, but one of those reasons is to participate in our co-op program and maybe work in U.S. industry, either in the co-op program and or following graduation. So a student could apply to a certificate program, be admitted to the program. They only have to complete basically 1 year, 4 courses, 2 terms, and then they graduate with a graduate certificate. And when they graduate, they can benefit from the F1 visa benefit of OPT, which allows for 1 year of employment in U.S. industry. So a student could come to Northeastern, study for complete the certificate in 2 terms, and then benefit from OPT, go work for U.S. industry for a year. Then they can complete their Master of Science degree, return to Northeastern University, benefit from the CPT, which is co-op, and then an additional benefit of a year of OPT plus the STEM 17-month STEM extension. So if a student wanted to pursue the certificate first, they would apply as they ordinarily would, complete the certificate, and then go into U.S. industry if they're successful in finding a job. So you can think of it in reverse if you'd like. This goes to what Dr. Palikhe said about stacked credentialing. If you complete a certificate, you're essentially completing the first half of your master's degree.
Yeah, so there are benefits depending on what you want to do. If you want to pursue a master's degree or graduate degree directly and get a certificate with it, or the other way around, that works as well. I do not see any other questions. Normally, students do come to ask me about the certificates, but sometimes they are not sure on which certificate works best for them. Other questions are general questions on, okay, so there are some certificates have some electives, because as I mentioned, some of the certificates only have 4 required courses, and you'll have to complete those 4 required courses in order to receive that certificate. However, some graduate certificates do not only have 4 courses, they have 6 or depending more courses. They might have 2 required courses, and out of the 4, you might have to pick 2. So sometimes students come to ask have questions about which courses works best from the list of electives in the certificates. So again, for that as well, I recommend you guys to talk to your program advisor or the certificate director. That will give you a better idea on what each course offers. That way you can choose and pick which best fits your needs, fits your interest area.
Yeah, I'll just add to that if you go to our certificate menu, if you look at any certificate profile, there'll be a faculty advisor or a point of contact for that particular program. So please reach out to that person if you have questions. If you're officially accepted already, you know that you have an initial academic point of contact who is named on your official letter of acceptance. And so these are your 2 advisors who you can speak to regarding what certificate program makes the most sense for you given your particular interests.
So I see a few more questions here. What is the certificate program that would qualify me to Master of Electrical Engineering? So right now, actually, we do not have a certificate from electrical engineering. We do have certificates which have courses from electrical engineering. So you can pursue one of those certificates. In that case, depending on the electrical engineering department, you might be able to count up to a double count of the two courses in the from the certificate and the electrical engineering graduate degree. But currently, we do not have a certificate which has all the electrical engineering courses or double counting. Electrical engineering right now only allows up to 2 double counting of courses. The second question I have is, can I select my certificate after coming to Northeastern by discussing the same with my advisor? Yes, that's what I mentioned earlier. You can decide which certificate you want to pick after you come to Northeastern and join Northeastern. So after you come here, you can have a discussion with your advisor and then decide which certificate works best. Yes, so there are a few certificate programs which allows students to take some electrical engineering courses. That way it works well. You'll be able to double count the electrical engineering courses for the certificate as well as your master's in electrical engineering degree. Specifically, I think the broadband wireless systems graduate certificate, and there are other 2 graduate certificates which have electrical engineering courses, but it might be only one. I think the data analytics has only 1 electrical engineering courses, and the data mining might have probably 2 electrical engineering courses in the data mining engineering certificate. If you have any other questions, again, please email me the questions if you think of any other questions later on, and we'll try to answer all your questions.
Okay, so let me thank Dr. Himlona Palikhe for her presentation today. This is a very similar presentation that Dr. Palikhe offers to newly admitted students during our orientation program, so you can, if you attend, you can expect to be invited again. We hope that we answered most of your questions and you have some sense for what the graduate certificate program is all about. As Dr. Palikhe said, please email her if you have questions following our session. So with that said, let's close our session today, and let me thank you all for attending, and we hope to see you this spring. Have a good rest of your day.